What is going on, guys? Today's the day. We're finally out here trying to crank on this old Cat RD4 dozer. We're gonna see, will it start? I don't know. We gotta check the fluids on it. I haven't messed with it since we got it back from North Dakota. So I'm gonna start going through the basics, checking the filters, checking the fluids, making sure it's got some fuel in there. This one does have the pony motor on it, so our first challenge is gonna be trying to get the pony motor started. I really want to get this thing started the old-fashioned way with the pony motor. I know we can tow it with another piece of equipment and crank on it that way, and we might have to do that, but first we're going to dive into this pony motor and see if we can't get it going first. All right, got the oil dipstick for the pony motor. Need to add some oil to that because that thing ain't just low, it's empty. So I'm gonna have to get me some oil in there. Gonna add some oil to the pony motor. Oh yeah, good to go now. Got plenty of oil in it. All right, so if you look up under here, that is supposed to be the fuel sediment bulb, and the glass jar, the bowl on it, is missing on there. And if you can see that hose right there, that's the hose that's supposed to go into there. It's ripped off and gone. So I've looked and I can't find the fuel sediment bulb that goes in there. So if you guys know where I can find one, leave that in the comments, whether it's on a website or you know somebody that's got a parts machine that can help me out with that. But I'll take either just a glass bulb or that whole assembly down there. But for right now, just to try to get it running, I think we are going to just bypass that and hook the fuel line right up to it. All right, so I'm rigging up this fuel line. I've got a fuel shutoff valve that I'm gonna put in here so I can kill the fuel to the pony motor if we do get it running, or once we get it running. I got an inline filter I'm going to put in there. Since we're losing that sediment bulb and that filter, I'm going to go ahead and put an inline filter just in case there's any trash in the gas tank. Alright, got her rigged up there nice. I'm going to go ahead and add some gas for the pony motor. Alright, so we got the fluids and everything checked, some fuel, got the fuel line hooked up on the pony motor, so I think I just about got everything done on the pony motor to start trying to pull on it. I'm going to go ahead and go through, check the oil on the machine, but I'm going to go ahead and check the rest of the stuff on the machine, make sure it's got some diesel, because once we get this pony motor going, I want to be ready to go ahead and start trying to crank on the diesel engine on this dozer as well. So I'm going to go ahead and finish checking all that out, make sure we're good to go there, and won't be long, we'll be cranking on this thing. Alright, got the oil dipstick down in here. Oh yeah, thing's making oil. Where's it go? Good on oil, and actually looked very clean for the age of this thing. Check the air filter. I have to get some pliers for that. Buy clean fuel, keep it clean. Got us a handy dandy gauge here. And this thing, sorry about that, and slippery. Looks like it's got about a half a tank of diesel in there. I can kind of just, you can just barely see it coming over the bottom of the filter in there. So I think we're good on diesel. I might add just a little bit to freshen it up, but diesel usually stays pretty good even over a long period of time. It doesn't get old like gasoline does. So thing looks good there. Transmission seems good. Got my clutches are free. There's the throttle for the diesel engine. We're gonna leave it all the way up while the pony motor cranks, and then once we build up heat and compression on the diesel engine, we'll add in a little bit of throttle, a little bit of fuel. This thing will take off, and our main clutch lever. Go ahead and check and see if there's any water in the radiator. Step up there. Looks pretty dry. We'll go ahead and add some coolant to it. Get some coolant and water in there for now, and that way we don't burn anything up. Alright, so I started to put some antifreeze in there, and as you can see, it's full now. It actually must have been just below where we could see it, because it didn't even take a gallon and it was full, which is good. That means that we don't got a big hole or anything in the radiator. I tell you, it's nice to finally work on one of these things at the house where I got power and my tools, water, everything I need. Got that ready to go. Alright guys, so sorry to interrupt this video, but I lost the pin that goes in here that holds the blade arm on somewhere between North Dakota and Texas. If you guys have any parts machines or know where I can pick one of these up, leave me a comment down below where I might be able to find one, or if you've got one, be willing to work a deal with you on it. I need that, and I need that sediment bulb. So if you know where I can get either one of those, drop me a comment down below and let me know. Alright guys, I think I got everything ready to start pulling on this pony motor. Hopefully it only takes one pull, because nothing wears you out like pulling on a motor that won't start. So I'm going to go ahead and try to fire this thing off. Turn my fuel on. Got my compression gauge, got it out of gear. I think we're good to go there. Choke, throttle out, see what happens. Gonna need me a longer rope. Again. Oh. Goodness. Alright, so it's not firing off, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the spark plugs off and see if try to see if it's getting spark. Alright, so as you saw, this side here had spark, but the other side, went to take it out and the top part was broken off. So I bet that one wasn't getting a spark. And it also, it's kind of dried up now, but this one was a little bit more oily on the bottom. So I'm gonna have to go get me another spark plug here for the other side and try to see if we can't get it fired up. Maybe that wasn't why it wouldn't turn over. All right, got the new spark plug. I'm gonna check and see if We got spark on this one first before I stick it back in there. All right, looks like we got spark on this one now. Let's get that back in there and try again. All right, guys, so I think I'm gonna have to pull the carburetor off of this little pony motor and clean it out. I checked the spark, and of course, as you guys saw, it's got spark on both cylinders. Both spark plugs were firing over. It feels like it's got compression when you're pulling on it, so I don't think that's the issue. So the only thing I can think is that I'm not getting is fuel all the way into the carburetor. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this cover off right here on top, try to get to the carburetor, pull it off and soak it, try to clean it, because I'm thinking what happened is some old fuel or something in there. It's just been sitting so long, probably gummed up some of the jets or whatever. So I'm gonna pull that off right now and try to get it cleaned up and see if that doesn't help us out. All right, so I got the carburetor put back on there. We soaked it for a couple days in some carb cleaner. I blew out all the ports and everything in it, got it put back together. Hopefully that's what the issue was. Hopefully something was just gummed up in there. So we're gonna go ahead and I guess try to fire on this thing some more. Got a little ether. Here we go. Well, guys, it's not even sounding like it's trying to fire off, so I'm gonna go ahead and I know I got fuel now. I've got spark because we've tested that. The only thing left is checking the compression on it. So I'm gonna pull the spark plugs out, hook my compression tester up to it, and see if we've got compression, because to be honest, when I'm pulling on it, it really doesn't feel like it's got a lot of compression there. You can, even when you spin the deal by hand, it just doesn't feel like there's a lot of resistance in it. So I'm kind of worried that maybe we don't have the compression to fire this thing off. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the spark plugs and find out for sure. All right, so we're at 0 PSI. Go ahead and wrap this cord around and give it a yank. All right, so I don't know if you can read that or not, but we got just over 30 pounds of pressure, which is kind of what I was worried about. I don't know what the compression is supposed to be on these little pony motors, but I'm pretty confident we should have more than 30 pounds on there. So I don't know if you can see that one, but that one's at 60 PSI. So the other cylinder, I know at best, is only got half the compression of this one. I still feel like 60 is probably on the low side. So I know I could pull start this Dozer and maybe get the diesel to fire off doing it that way, but I really want to try to get this thing fired up the way that it was intended to be fired up. So if you guys would please, if you could help me out on this, I'd appreciate it. Let me know what the compression's supposed to be. Let me know if I'm missing something. This is my first piece of equipment that had a pony motor on it, so I'm still trying to figure it out. If I'm missing something, you guys let me know, please. Help me out. I'd appreciate it. And thanks for watching.